Hello, my lovelies. How are you guys doing today? Well, I'm so excited. Let's see if everything is working. Chat is on. Yes. Right. Perfect. How are you guys today? It's another Sunday with Hobie Live. Oh, I already see a lot of people. Oh, we're already 100 watching. That is super nice. Let's see who we have here. Doris Rose Cottage Studio. Good morning from Pennsylvania. Then we have Donna. Hi from Oregon. Then we have Elizabeth from Arizona. Hello, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Bibi. Good evening from Germany, she's saying. And also from Germany, we have Jana. She's saying hello from Berlin. And then we also have lots of little sweets going on around here. Yes. And Germany and Canada. Oh, this is really, really nice. Hello from Florida to all of you Florida people out there. Is it hot in Florida at the moment? What about Arizona? Is it like super hot? Because it's kind of hot in here. We've had a pretty nice weekend. And yes, it's been good. It's been a good weekend, I could say. So let's see. Oh, okay. You guys need to tell me if you can hear me and see me properly. I think that should not be an issue by now. And yeah, welcome to the 15th episode with Hobie Live. And it is an episode that I was looking forward to actually broadcasting. And yeah, this episode is all about how we are gonna go learn different tips and tricks. Maybe some of you don't know them, some of you might know them already, but it's all about how we're gonna keep our yarn safe, very safe, before we turn it into a project and after we turn it into a project, right? So I actually prepared a lot of great tips for each stage, right? So these two stages, and we're gonna go through with them. But first, of course, I have a little giveaway prepared for you guys, and it's gonna be easy to participate, and it's open for everybody. Of course, I would really love it if you guys can give the subscribe button a little click so that you're subscribed to the channel, because if you are subscribed to the channel, then you will have a higher chance of actually winning the giveaway. That's how our little robot works, our little giveaway robot. So please subscribe to the channel. That's gonna mean the world to us. And also, if you like watching us, just click the like button on this video. I mean, you know, we gotta get the hearts away. So please give me the hearts, like the video, share your progress on your project with us on Instagram by using hashtag Hobie Live. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what today's giveaway is all about. So like you guys know, it's easy to participate. All you have to do is write !yarn care. I'm gonna put something out there on the screen so you guys can see. But what I did prepare as well is a second giveaway for those of you who aren't able to watch us and you know, through the entire episode. And that second giveaway is gonna last, or it's gonna go on for an entire week. And all you need to do to participate in it is actually leave a comment in the comment section, giving us basically a tip on your favorite trick or your favorite advice on how to keep your yarn safe. It doesn't matter if it's before you turn it into a project or after you turn it into a project. Just give us your best tip in the comment section. This is for the second giveaway. But now, let me first start the giveaway so that we can actually, there we go. Okay, so I actually started the giveaway, but I don't know if it's on yet. There we go. It is on. It is on. So what you guys actually need to do, I saw that you already saw what you gotta say. There we go. Bada boom. So all you need to do to participate in the giveaway is write yarn care, like you see it up there. Maybe if I put my hands up, or maybe if I put a little yarn up there so you guys can see. There we go. Yarn care with an exclamation mark, very important. So it's exclamation mark yarn care in the chat box to participate in today's giveaway. So what do we have for today in the giveaway? I love that it rhymes. We have this big boy over here. And it is filled with love and filled with different kinds of hobby yarns. And it also has one of my favorite care products. I added a little bottle of, I don't know if any of you knows this product. It's called Eucalan or Eucalan, and it is a wool detergent with lanolin, and it's amazing. We're going to talk about it just a little bit later, but so basically this is today's giveaway. Let me actually put this second giveaway back here, and I'm going to go a little bit through what I put inside. So we have, there we go. We have, of course, I added 2 lovely ribbon. So ribbon is made out of 100% cotton, and it is absolutely awesome to make baskets, to make bags out of it. So many different projects you can make with this little skein here, little tube skein. And it is 100% cotton. You have 2 colors. So you have kind of like a very light pink and a more dusty mauve almost. It's kind of pink mauve. Super, 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 super lovely. 2 of these. So there you go. You can actually start making a lot of projects. And if you guys have never tried the Bungee Mini, it's kind of like an alternative to this because you can still make the same projects out of it. So we're talking, we're talking bags, baskets, but this one, don't know if I can open it. Yes, this one has, if you see inside, come on, it's gonna focus eventually if you guys are just patient. See, it's filled up with something inside, so it's kind of like squishy and squishy and looks like a little worm. But basically, it's kind of the same concept. It's just that it has a different texture and it has a different feel. So whoever's gonna win this can try both of them and then decide which is their favorite. So we have, like I said, 2 skeins of ribbon, 1 ginormous skein of Bungee Mini. There we go. Then I added a twister, a lovely blue twister, just because who doesn't love blue? I mean, come on. So a lovely, you can see it has a very nice dégradé of light blue that goes towards dark, towards, it's kind of like very, I look at this color and I think about the sea and I think about being on a yacht, just being on a yacht, sipping cocktail, dressed up in some red pants, a shawl made out of this, and some white sandals. Yeah, that's how I see myself. So, gonna put that there. Then we also have a little, so what I'm trying to do with this giveaway is have you guys actually try out different hobby yarns so you can find which one is your favorite. Then I had added a twister solid in this super cute yellow color. It's my favorite color. What else do we have here? We have a dahlia. I don't know if you guys tried dahlia. I've been reading your comments in the last live, and I noticed that a lot of you said that you want to try dahlia. So I added a dahlia yarn skein, cake. A dahlia cake. It's super, super lovely. It's a changing yarn cake, and it goes from yellow to pink. Very, very, very sweet. And if you like it, please send me some little hearts because this is very beautiful. Then what else do we have here? Oh, I see here that I already say people saying I love dahlia. Yes, me too. Let's see, what else did we have in here? Oh yes, we have a yarn that I've actually kept and I saved for a special occasion, and this is the Stonewash Rainbow. It's basically a stonewash yarn. I don't know if you can see it, 100% cotton. It's super, super, super nice with very, very cute little color speckles. So I added a few skeins of that as well. Then I added also a few skeins of Rainbow Melange. It's also 100% cotton, and it just has, obviously it's a melange cotton yarn. It is super cute as well, and really, really soft and very durable. And of course, like I said, the intention was so that you guys try on different hobby yarns. I also added 4 skeins, 4 blue little cute skeins of rainbow. And last but not least, my favorite part, or not last but not least, because I have like the Ocolan as well, but I also added 3 hanks of this yarn. Is called Luxus sock yarn, and it is super beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is hand dyed, by the way. So we have a gray, and then you have a green, and then you kind of have like, it's a purple, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of like a purple, brown, blue. Well, that's not purple, that's more like fuchsia. It is so, so beautiful. You can easily make 2 pairs of socks out of 1 skein. And yeah, very, very nice. And of course, for us to actually take care of all this yarn that we're gonna win, I added my favorite. And okay, Ocolan actually comes in different smells or different fragrances, but my favorite one is the lavender one. And so I added the big bottle of Eau-Calan, and this actually lasts for about 75 to 100 little washes. And it's made with, obviously it has lanolin, and it has a really, really, really special feature that I'm gonna get to a little bit later in this episode. But you're gonna love this. Once you try this, you're never gonna go back. Believe me, never. So that's basically what I included in today's live giveaway. And for those of you who cannot, participate, and you're watching this a little later, I also have an additional extra little giveaway. Ugh, let me just, there we go. It's basically a big basket filled with yarn. That's for the live, right? And for those of you who cannot participate in this live one, I prepared another second giveaway. I'm going to unveil what's inside here. So of course we have the bungee beanie, just like in the other one, because I just really want you guys to try this. It's a very, very fun yarn to crochet with, especially if you want to make baskets or bags, which are super, super voguey right now. In Vogue. And then of course I also added a twister and this beautiful kind of marine vibe as well. It looks like a lagoon almost. Then what else? Oop, that got stuck to my finger. By the way, one of the features of the twister is that it has this little, come on, focus. Easy start. If you see it here, it has an easy start little thing that you can pull from, so that you don't have to like dig in there to find the edge of the strand. And then I also, it's the same with the twister solid one. Has the easy start little thingy right there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. That's actually a very good feature, and I think a lot of people love that. And then I also added some Rainbow 88 in a print, and it's so cute. It is so adorable. Look at this. Look at this cute little, oh my god. I mean, I just love it. I love it. I love it. 100% cotton, 4 of these, and 3 skeins of the Stonewash, just like in the other one, but the other one just has a little bit more skeins. And of course I didn't want to not give you guys the chance of actually getting some sock yarn too. So I added also a Luxus sock yarn, hand dyed as well. Look at this hank. It is so cute. Please focus. It's 100, no, it's not 100%. It's actually 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. So sock yarn, obviously. And it's just super, super lovely. I love it. I love it so much. So that's for the second giveaway that I'm going to pick a winner in about a week. So yeah, second giveaway. So I'm just going to put this aside. And let's get into today's episode, please. We need to. How many of you here have you, like, how many of you have had problems storing yarn? I'm actually curious, and I don't know if I can keep up with the chat, but I will definitely read through it a little later. So I'm kind of curious to know how many of you have had problems with yarn, with storing yarn. You know, like maybe it got moisty, maybe it got moldy. It could be that it gets moldy if it's stored in a humid environment. So well, let's actually get into today's episode. All right. So yes, first of all, before we talk about yarn care, we're going to talk about what yarn means, at least to me, and I know to a lot of us it means the same. And we didn't really realize it until you're going to hear my little theory here. So I know that probably you, just like me, and a lot of us today have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 boxes filled with yarn. And when I say boxes, I mean big boxes. And it doesn't have to be a box. It can be, you know, something where you store your yarn, maybe a cupboard or sack, hopefully not. I have 8 at home. I have 8 huge IKEA boxes at home filled with yarn. They're the really, really, really big ones. Obviously, I work for Hobbii, so of course I'm gonna buy too much yarn. But there's never too much yarn, right? Because, you know, the thing with buying yarn, and this is something that at least my boyfriend didn't understand until I explained this little theory I have. Take, for instance, a wine collector, right? Somebody, or an art collector, but let's keep to the wine collectors. They love wine. They want to drink wine all the time. They always scout for the best kinds of wine, and when they find it, especially if it's at a good price, then they buy it, they purchase it, then they store it in their cellar, right? Because the wine has to have a special room. just like yarn should have a special room in your house. But so the wine lover stores his beloved wine in his wine cellar, and then, you know, maybe months later or weeks later or years later, he will take a bottle and he will open it for a special occasion and drink it and enjoy it, right? What's kind of the same with yarn? It really is. I mean, listen to me. It's the same with yarn. You find the right yarn, maybe it's even at a super great price, and then you buy it because you don't want to lose that color or that specific yarn. And then you store it away, and then when the right project comes along, you're going to pull that yarn out and you're going to work with that yarn. And it's going to feel the same as a really special wine to a wine person. And the thing is that just like wine is stored in a dark, you know, kind of cold room, it's the same with yarn. It has to be stored properly so that months or years later, it's still good to eat or good to drink, right? So I know it's kind of it's kind of tedious, but if we don't store the yarn properly, you know, it's just gonna be a disaster. We're gonna waste all that money that we've wasted buying it. We're gonna be completely heartbroken over the fact that maybe some really beautiful yarn will get destroyed, and all of this because of some little nasty bugs out there that are, you know, they're just trying to survive, right? But still, don't eat our yarn, please. So, not to scare you guys out there, for those of you who do not know, because maybe there's people of you who don't know, but there's some very nasty little creatures out there in the nature that would love to just, you know, make like a Michelin star meal out of your yarn. They would just, I can already imagine them just putting on like a little napkin and with a fork and knife, and they're just like, you know, ready to eat your yarn away. So, I would categorize them, and it's kind of weird. I categorize them in 2 sections. I categorize them in the little animals that are not there for the yarn, but they're there for what's on top of the yarn. I'm gonna get to that. And then there's the little bugs that are there for the yarn, right? So when I talk about bugs that are there, not for the yarn, but for what's on it, I'm talking about silverfish, I'm talking about termites. These are little animals that they get attracted to fibers because they have stains on them, or because they have little sweat smells, or because Yeah, it's basically all the food and all the beverages stains that we have. And this is why it's important to wash your knit even when you don't actually, or your knit or your crochet, even when you don't actually wear it and it's just been staying in the closet. Because what if today I'm gonna wear a very beautiful sweater, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna eat a burrito or something, and I'm just gonna have like a little tiny burrito stain that I will not give importance to. And then I will consider that my sweater is clean. I'm gonna pack it away, put it in the closet. 2 months later, bam, termites eating at it, or silverfish, or I don't know, fire brats, for instance, right? Fire brats are more specific because they're into linen and cotton and more starchy kind of yarn. But the thing is that, those are very, very particular cases. What we actually do have to fear are the cloth moths. And I know you guys, when you hear moth, you hear the structure of yarn, you hear the terminator of yarn. It is what nobody wants to get in their closet or their dresser. The moths, the cloth moths. And these guys are like, they basically can barely fly, even though they have wings. They're like, when they're flying around. But they're very, very dangerous, because even though they have a hard time flying, once they find a dark, hidden place, they're gonna hide there. They're gonna kind of like put away all their, or they're gonna, I don't know how you call it, but they're gonna lay eggs. Yes, that's the word. They're gonna lay their little eggs. The little larva is gonna come out, and that larva is gonna just munch away on your yarn. They're just gonna be like, so basically it's not the little like drunk flying moths that are the bad ones, or they don't really do much. All they do is that they are actually the initiator. They're the ones that will lay the eggs of the creatures that will eat your yarns, right? And these larvae will feed for weeks, and they stick to your knitwear or your crochet wear like glue. They will be like, and I think they can eat up to 4-5 weeks on your project. So that's also depending on the level of humidity and the temperature in the room, or in the closet or drawer or attic, or wherever you are keeping your sweaters. And the thing is that it kind of like, it goes in a circle, it goes in a cycle. So that happens, and then those little larvae will turn into moths themselves, and then they will lay more eggs, and it's just like a continuous vicious circle. And if you don't stop it at the right time, then bye-bye yarn, bye-bye all the beautiful projects that you spend months and ages making. So yes. So I know this is just this is basically what we need to be scared of. And I know it's kind of creepy, but if you take the right precautions, then it should be okay. Now, I'm just gonna see how many of you guys are watching us now. I'm gonna just refresh this little guy. Okay, we're 249 people already. Great. Please share the live right now with your friends, so that you can also give them an opportunity to participate in today's giveaway. I see that Sylvia is saying, what can you do against silverfish? We have a plague here. Well, in general, when you have silverfish, or when you have termites, or when you have even moths, a good trick is to actually disinfect the area really well. So take away all your clothes, or all the place that is infected. Take it all away, wash them, freeze them, and then make sure that you clean very, very well the area. And then there's some tricks, and I know that they work against moths, and they probably should work against silverfish. They should work against fire brats. They should work against termites and most little tiny animals. And I'm going to give those tips in just a second, so just stay around. Before that, I actually had a video call earlier this week. I had a call with Kat. And Kat is working for us here at Hobie, and she is what I consider a total expert in general when it comes to yarns and when it comes to just everything related to fiber crafts. And I just wanted to have her, to have her tips on what she would do in certain situations. Because I figured, we should also hear somebody's opinion who's also super qualified for this. So I actually recorded the little call so you guys can also watch it. So let me just plot it in here. Let's see. And I mean, it's great to have somebody else's input on this because a lot of people do things very differently. So you have to be very particular about, not listening to every single what is it called, every single advice, because some people might give you an advice that is completely wrong, and then you will end up maybe destroying your yarn. So I really wanted to make sure, and I double checked, and I really did my research on this, just to make sure that we don't ruin anything. So I'm just gonna add Kat's interview in a second, and you guys can basically just watch away. I think it's about 15 minutes, and I'm really sorry to say, by my audio, so the mic on my laptop was so bad, so it's not as good as her audio, but she's the one to listen to, so that's all you guys need to do. So without further ado, without actually jumping into, I prepared 10 tips today. So it's 10 tips for storing yarn, taking care of yarn, loving your yarn further. And we're going to go through them after we watch Kat's interview. And you know what? Before I do that, let me just refresh your memories on today's giveaway. Like, for those of you who are just joining a little bit later, 2 giveaways. One of them is happening right now, and it is this lovely box, or not box, but oops, I always seem to drop I always seem to drop the yarns when I'm trying to like move things around. So I prepared, like I said, 2 lovely ribbons. Please give me some love if you guys are in. Have you tried ribbon before? I would love to see if you guys have tried ribbon before. Then ribbon, then we have Bungee Meanie. This is basically so that you guys can try out these kinds of yarns, especially for baskets and projects that are a little bit more tight and strong, or that need to have a certain structure to them. Then you have 2 twisters, one regular, one solid. And then I also added a lot of skeins of different kinds of rainbows. So there is rainbow melange and rainbow stonewash, and then there's just regular rainbow as well. Bada boom boom boom. And of course, how could I forget my favorite? These are sock yarns. They're called Luxus sock yarn, and they're super great. With one, you can easily have two pairs of socks, I would say. So 6 of these little lovies. And yes, I saw somewhere over there, Eucalan, my favorite wool detergent. This will change your life. And we're gonna talk about this a little later, but I absolutely love Eucalan. It is such a great detergent for wool. So that's what you can win if you're staying around. And to participate, you'll only have to write, I keep dropping things on the floor. All you have to do to participate is write exclamation mark yarn care, all in one word, in the chat box, and you're in. If you're actually participating, oh, and a dahlia skein. I forgot about the dahlia. A dahlia cake. What is happening to me today? So for those of you who cannot participate right now, I also have a second giveaway happening for the comment section. So basically what you have to do is give us your best advice on how to take care of yarn. We're going to read through them. We're going to pick the best one, the most elaborate one, the one that's going to blow our minds. or maybe not. And the winner can win Bungee Mini, Twister, Twister Solid, a Hank, 4 lovely skeins of this beautiful Rainbow 88 Stonewash as well, and a tiny little Eucalan, or not tiny, but this is the small Eucalan bottle. That's good for about 20 washes, I think, or maybe not, between 12 and 20 washes, I would say, depending on how much you're washing in each bassinet, right? So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go into like all our best tips and tricks. But before, let's watch Kat's 3 best tips, basically. It's a pre-recorded, like I said. Yes, Dragon and Wolf is saying by comments. Does that mean live chat? No, by comments means in the comment section. And even if you are participating in the live giveaway, you are more than welcome to also participate in the other giveaway. So yeah, so let's go. Let's see what Kat has to say and who she is. Bam, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-bam. How does this work? I'm hoping that this is gonna work right. There we go. I'm actually quite excited to see who's gonna win today. But yeah, you don't see them because it's happening live, so you will have to comment most probably after the live session is over. Yes, and before, there we go. Then we're gonna add Kat's interview. And we're gonna browse, we're gonna select it. There we go. And done.
Thank you for being here with me today, talking about how to take care of your beautiful yarns before and after you turn it into a project. And first things first, I want to know, I'm just going to jump straight into it. I'm not going to lose time. First, tell us a little bit about yourself so that everybody knows who you are.
Does everybody know what I'm doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, my name is Katarina, but everybody just calls me Kat because that's a little shorter. And I am in the product and procurement team. So I'm sitting and setting up all the new products together with a colleague in the system in the web shop. We answer questions that customer service receives from our dear customers. We go back to the supplier and try and find out whether we can find those answers. And in general, try and find new products. So that's what we're doing.
That's the best job. Basically, you're the person who decides what kind of yarn we get.
Well, not just me.
Not just you, but
I'm at least in the department where we do that. Yes, and that's really lovely.
Yeah, because you get to test all these new little yarns, and you get to pick colors, and what a dream come true.
Yes, definitely.
And how long have you been with us now? 2, 3 years?
3 years, nearly, in a couple of months. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that time went. But yes, been here for a while.
Oh, and actually, tell us a little bit. Are you? I mean, I know who you are, but are you a knitter or are you a crocheter?
Well, I know how to crochet. A couple of years ago, I crocheted a granny square blanket. It took ages, but somehow my hands can't get used to the movement of crocheting. I don't know how to explain it, but it just never feels comfortable. So I actually don't crochet a lot, even though I would love to crochet some amigurumis because I have 3 kids. They would love to get some of those. So I'm more a knitter. Definitely. I knit by far more than it's years ago that I've been crocheting last time. Unfortunately.
I knew you were a big knitter, and I always think about you. I think about the story with the socks. You brought to work one time. You brought a pair of socks that you were working on, and I saw them, and I thought they were the prettiest socks ever, and I did not know how to knit socks, and I just had to learn how to knit socks because I saw your socks and I thought it was the best thing ever, and the yarn was so pretty. And I know that you have a lot of stories with yarns, but please tell us this little story about You know what I'm talking about. You know the yarn I'm talking about. The little
Yes,
white yarn with little speckles of orange and brown in them. Oh, so lovely.
yeah. We were on holiday about 6, 7 years ago in Scotland, and I knew there was a yarn shop that I wanted to have a look at and to visit, and it's on the Isle of Skye, and basically it's when you look on a map, it's just you keep on driving. You drive, and there are no houses. It's just fields and the sea once in a while. And you keep on driving, and then you think there can't be anything out here anymore. It's so far out. And then you keep on driving, and then all of a sudden there's this gorgeous little house at the end of the road, and you'd see the sea behind in the backdrop behind the house, and it's so pretty.
Oh God.
And that's where they plant dye, or they naturally dye their yarns. It's so nice, and that's where the yarn came from. So that was
I imagine myself.
I had.
That is such a dream come true, to just be on holiday, but have to go to a specific place where they hand dye yarn, just because I'm on vacation. I have to do yarny stuff on my vacation.
I dragged my whole family out there and our friends. I was like, I have one goal for this holiday, and that's to go to the yarn store.
Oh God.
But they enjoyed the view as well.
Yeah. What I want to find out is, what are your top 3 tips and tricks, if you want to call them like that, for how you need to store your yarn or take care of your yarn, or what do you do?
I suppose there are different opinions on how people do store their yarn and protect them from all kinds of animals that they might have in the house. But I can tell you how I do it, and then there are different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I actually do it in a not very picturesque way. I store all my yarns in a like a treasure chest kind of thing. It looks a bit like a pirate chest that you can open in the top.
Yeah.
And then when you open it, what you see is just a lot of plastic bags filled with yarn. And that is not a very pretty way of storing yarn. I would much prefer to actually have some kind of cupboard with glass windows in the front, that you can open, where you can put all the yarn in like color-coded ways, and then it looks really pretty as well. That's not how I do my yarn. I store my yarn, because I'm really scared of moths and any other kinds of insects getting in there.
Yeah.
I have quite a bit of yarn, and I actually have quite a bit of like woolen sweaters and hats and mittens and all that as well, because I have 3 kids, and they of course have outfits in woolen things as well.
Yeah.
So if ever moth finds its way in here, it will have a party.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want the moth to have a party in my house.
No.
So everything is wrapped into plastic bags, and not even the zipper bags, because the moth can still get in there, I'm sorry to say. So you need proper plastic bags that you can twist in the top and then make a knot.
And new ones, I'm guessing too, right? Like brand new plastic bags too.
Yes, because it needs to be airtight. Like as soon as it's not airtight anymore, the moth can get in. Like it just needs a tiny little hole, and then it's moth party going on in there. Yeah, don't want that. So I have everything in plastic bags. And then that would be the first tip, I suppose.
But but also the fact that you keep it in a chest box almost, that's kind of romantic as well, That's kind of sweet.
And no, that chest is the only thing in my house that's actually locked, that has a lock on it.
Really?
Like, we have nothing else that's locked in this house except for my yarn chest, because I don't want my kids to go in there either.
No. Like no moths and no children.
Yes, exactly. No moth and no children either. Well, then the second piece of advice, I suppose, would be how to store your yarn. I have a lot of sweaters in my closet. The kids have a lot of sweaters in their closets, and I tried to find some of the stuff that I have in my closet. I couldn't quickly find any, but mothballs. It's just small wooden balls of cedar wood that have a certain scent. Moth hate strong scents.
Yeah.
So those are really nice. What you also can do is lavender sachets, like small bags with dried lavender in it, because that smells very strongly as well. I really like the smell. And you could put that in between the clothes as well. Once in a while, when I take out a sweater and I open it up, then there are a couple of mothballs falling out. Fortunately, I have kids that collect them again.
Oh.
And so they are like distributed all over the place, all through the
Yeah,
closets.
yeah. And actually, you mentioned the lavender sachets, and we were talking about them earlier this week, and we said it could be kind of nice to find your own lavender. Make it a small little bouquets, dry them out, and even bring them to your friends that actually knit or crochet, and just have them as little gifts. It's a nice little touch, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's quite a nice little gift to take along if you just need a little something to take along.
Yeah.
That's actually a really nice thing. Yeah.
So tell me
And
your
then,
last tip.
Yeah, and then the last tip. We buy a lot of secondhand stuff. I must admit, I don't buy a lot of secondhand yarn because when you look for something, then it's quite hard to find the right color or the right size and the right, just the right yarn secondhand. That's just in general hard. So it doesn't happen very often.
And also, in general, I don't think it's a good idea to buy secondhand yarn because you don't know how that yarn was stored. So maybe you're actually gonna bring home some like unwanted company, and then the moths
that can
fly.
happen as well. I mean, if you get it from a friend and you know how your friend stores the yarn, that's a different story. But I mean, if you buy, it's like with clothes. If you buy secondhand clothes, you never know where the stuff has been. But I once found on a flea market, I did not knit this one myself, I have to admit, but I found this on a flea market. I suppose all the Scandies, they will recognize this pattern as the Marius sweater, a very classic Norwegian style, and it's proper, like it's nice wool and
so beautiful.
This was secondhand, and I have no idea how the lady stored it beforehand. So what I do with these kind of things is, before they go into my closet or into my washing machine, even they come into a plastic bag and go have a little detour through the freezer because my kids grow up in a house where there are more clothes in the freezer than food. It's because if your freezer can manage to manage temperatures below minus 18 degrees Celsius, which is, I have a little cheat sheet, minus 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit, then and you leave it in there for longer than I think 72 hours, then even the eggs of the moth will even die.
Yeah.
So then you can be sure that there are no actual moth and no eggs in there anymore. And then you can safely wash it and put it into your closet. If it can go further below, I think my freezer goes to minus 23 degrees. That is minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit. I usually do that. Just to make sure it's super cold, and the moths will definitely die. And that's after that they are allowed back into the closet.
Yeah.
Before that, there's nothing secondhand going into my closets because I'm really scared that it just spread all over the place. Then I've heard, for those of you living in warmer regions, I've heard rumors that you can put cloth or yarn in a black plastic bag, lock it tight with a knot as well, so it's airtight, and then put it out into the sun for at least an hour or two, because if the temperature can get over 60 degrees Celsius, which is 140 degrees Fahrenheit, then the moth and the eggs and everything will die as well. I don't like that method here in Denmark because for the first you have to be sure it's summer. For the second, you have to make sure it's a nice summer day and and that there are no clouds in the sky. And I mean that basically never happens. There is always a cloud at least once during the hour.
Yeah, and it never gets as hot for it to actually get to 60 Celsius or 140. Like, nah.
Yeah, no. But I suppose if you live somewhere where it's really warm most of the day and a lot of sun and not many clouds, then that's actually something you could take advantage of. Yeah.
Actually,
that's what I do with my woolen things.
And actually, I remember my grandmother telling me that yes, if you have moths or if you have even your clothes in general after you wash them. Of course, for yarn, it's nice to be able to have the freezer option, but then again, also ironing your clothes. And I know that you can't do that with all the knitwear or crochet because it depends on the yarn, right? But if you have something that I don't know, maybe it's woven, or maybe it's, you know, a thicker kind of yarn that is not so fluffy, then you can use like maybe a wet towel that you know, you really push away the water, and then you just lay it flat on your garment, and then you can you know, iron it, because that also kills bacteria and yeah.
That's nice. Yeah,
Well,
I'll have to try that. Never ironed a woolen sweater. Might have to try that.
I mean, if, as long as you take precautions so you don't you know, burn it.
Yeah, no, don't want that.
Speaking actually of yarns, I actually just have one more question for you.
Yeah.
I want to know, and I want everybody to know actually, what is your favorite current hobby yarns? Because I'm looking to figure out, you know, the people here in the company, what's their favorite kind of yarn. So what's yours?
Yeah. Now I have to see. Hold on a moment.
Yes.
I actually have it here.
Oh, can you put that
Can you see what it is?
Oh, it's Highland wool.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
It's a really, really nice wool from Peru. It's wool from a sheep, not from alpaca.
Yeah.
It's pretty sturdy, and it's still soft. It's still nice.
Yeah, I agree.
You can knit all kinds of things. I think we've designed some. Our design department have designed some pillowcases. So you can use it for interior things. You can, without a problem, use it for clothes as well, but also for kids' clothes. It's really nice and soft. Yeah. Like even my kids, they have started complaining about, you know, things being itchy and scratchy, and it's like, oh, I don't want to wear this, but this works. They really like this one. They don't complain about Highland wool. And then I have another yarn. It's not right around here. It's probably a more treasure chest. It's alpaca silk, which is even softer than this. I mean, I suppose alpaca silk is is the favorite of all of us.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say that is my favorite yarn.
Yes, it's really, really, really soft. And I mean, maybe I would use that for pillows, but only exclusive pillows. I would not put that down on our sofa where the kids are jumping around and so on. But it's so soft, and you can knit kids sweaters for yourselves. Really nice, and warm woolen hats for winter.
Yeah, it's a beautiful yarn. I agree with you. I'm gonna actually add a link in the description box when we finish the recording.
Yeah, that was my favorites.
That was really, really nice input. Thank you for the advice, Kat. And I mean, it was really nice having you here, and I hope everybody will be happy. And if people will have questions for you, which I hope they will, then I'm gonna come back to you and ask you so I can reply to their questions.
Yeah, it would be really nice if other people have some advice to learn about new things of how to store. I mean, if there was a prettier way of storing my yarn without having to pack them in plastic bags, that would be great. So if anybody has advice, please share with us.
All right, Kat, honey, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you Monday at work.
You will. Yes. Thanks, Tia.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
And that was it for our lovely interview with Kat. And I'm super excited that all of you watched until the end. She is an absolutely amazing colleague, and I love her to death. Like, she's always smiling, she's always laughing, she's always in a good mood. She's just such a love to be around. So that was it. So now that we have Kat's input on this, please, if you have any questions for Kat, do write them, and I will make sure to ask her and get back to you. So now that we have her input, let's actually check out the 10 tips that I prepared for you on how we can store the yarn safely. It's basically like a recap with some add-ons. And it's actually quite simple. So first and foremost, we have to make sure that we will store our yarns in a climate controlled place, environment, whatever you want to call it. This means that it mustn't be, no, under no circumstances in a damp place. So maybe you have a really damp basement, or maybe you store your yarn in the attic if you have an attic. That's actually quite hot temperatures up there. So no, no go, no, no. So it has to be in a place where you can control the climate, where the temperature is nice. And I mean, I know that's a very, very hard one because I know from experience, I live in an apartment and we have very, very limited space. But nonetheless, what I do is I actually store mine in the hallway. I have like my 8 boxes. They're stored in a closet, so they're actually stored in boxes, in IKEA boxes, sealed, so airtight, and they're stored inside a cupboard. Find a place. If you don't have a specific place now, find a place. Make some space in your closet or your dresser, or maybe in a shoe. What are they called? The shoe holders. Maybe, like, it's actually pretty good, the shoe holders. You can just open it and then you have it stashed there in plastic bags, of course. But nonetheless, so remember this tip number 1: store your yarn in a climate controlled environment and away from the sunlight. And then again, even if you do this, and here comes tip number 2, try to store it in plastic bags. If you are 100% sure that they're fresh, clean, no moist plastic bags. So they have to not be humid. They have to be completely dry, completely brand new plastic bags. And like Kat says, the Ziploc ones, you might actually, have an issue with that, and maybe the moth will try and, eat a little hole away if it's not completely sealed. So if you do use the Ziploc ones, make sure that you super airtight, and make sure that it's, airtight, that it's kind of like fluffy, the bag. I saw Hannah asked for an alternative. She said, what if we don't want to use plastic bags? Then it's okay. If you don't want to use plastic bags, although I really, really highly recommend it, but if you don't want the plastic to touch your yarn directly, what you can do is maybe, I don't know, take a walk to the flea market or the thrift store, or maybe even a brand new store, buy some pillowcases. And if you do buy them secondhand, make sure you wash them at very high temperature if they can hold. And even iron them. Like I said in the video, my grandmother always told me, iron your clothes, because first of all, it will look much nicer, but second of all, it will also kill the last living bacteria in them. So if you're buying pillowcases to store your yarn in, make sure that you will wash them at high temperature, that they're very, very dry, and that you iron them so that there's no bacteria. Then you can, store your yarn safely in the pillowcases, and maybe put the pillowcases in a plastic bag and airtight, right? And then, like she said, I see here Brea saying, I use vacuum bags for storing clothes and blankets. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just make sure that it's airtight, and also make sure that when you put the yarn in, the yarn is dry, very, very dry. So make sure that you're not, you don't have a slightly moisty yarn. Maybe you will find some yarn in your basement. Just gonna give you an example. Find some yarn in the basement, and then you bring it upstairs, you store it, and with other yarns, right, in the same bag, and then you're just gonna be surprised by the fact that can be a really bad idea, because you're gonna bring moldy, moisty yarn, store it with dry regular yarn, and then it's just gonna be like blah. So yeah, don't make sure that the yarn you're using is dry, and it's fresh yarn, and you're not mixing it with old yarn and moldy yarn and so on, right? And then tip number 3 is using these little balls or lavender, right? So let's start with lavender. So first of all, I had a question at the beginning of today's episode about how can we avoid moths coming into places, and that is smell. They hate strong smells. They absolutely hate it, right? So you can go ahead and find yourself maybe some lavender. Lavender has a very strong smell, a strong scent. Find some lavender, dry it up, put it either in sachets or put it hanging, make small little hanging bouquets and put it between your clothes. It can also be maybe very strong in general, everything that is, because I saw somebody also said eucalyptus, and it's basically everything that is herbal and has a strong scent. Moths are like bleh. So go for that. In this case, my favorite alternative is the cedar wood balls. And I actually added a link in the description box. They're called the cedar wood balls from Abatox, and they are an actual natural alternative to the moths ball that you can buy in most stores. But the difference is that they're not chemically produced, and those moth balls, what happens to them is that they contain certain chemicals that will emit certain gases, and that can actually be quite harmful for your yarn in general. So the great thing about these cedar ones is that they're 100% natural, and when the scent goes away, and I actually have it here, when the scent goes away, I use a nail file to just buffer them a little bit. So basically I just file them down, and that kind of gives them, that refreshes the smell again, so you can keep on using them even when you think that, oh, there's no more smell. Because believe me, if there's no smell, so if you have cedar balls and you don't kind of like smell them, or if you have lavender and you don't smell it in your closet, it means it's not working. And I mean, the great thing is that the cedar wood balls from Abatox, they're actually quite cheap. I think I actually have, where are they? They're here. I'm gonna show you guys. They're these ones. So this is what they look like. And you can store them between your clothes. And yeah, they come in 24 balls, and they are, I think, $8.90. So less than $9. And believe me, it will save your life. And yeah, to be honest, after all the money I put into, in buying yarns, and all the effort I put into knitting or crocheting a garment or whatever it is, I definitely would love to have this alternative of a product that I can invest into that is not that expensive. And I know that it will work, and I know that it will keep my yarn safe, my yarn and my project safe. And yeah, so that's tip number 3. Then I have tip number 4, and we're actually coming close to the end of the giveaway any moment now. Let's see. This is what happens actually once your yarn is stored safely. Hand wash is the way to go. And I know that a lot of you are saying, what? This says that it's superwash wool, or that that's superwash treated. I know it's annoying to hear it, but in all honesty, do you want to risk all the time that you put into knitting or crocheting something? You want to risk to just throw it in the washing machine, even though you wash it at Delicates, and then it comes out maybe a little bit more shrunk, or you want to avoid that. And I know it's annoying to hear, and I know we live in a kind of like an era where we just want things done fast and on the spot. But believe me, just how you take your time to knit or crochet, you can also take 5 minutes here and then to hand wash your garments. And that's when this comes in. That's where is Aukalan? Where did I put it? That's when this comes in. So, and I actually have I'm gonna show you guys. There we go. I'm gonna transition to this because I have it here. So yes, drum roll please. This is Eucaland. I'm actually included this one, the lavender one, because I love the smell so much. And it's not just any wool detergent. It's basically what I think a God-given gift. The best thing about this is that there's no rinse. So you don't have to rinse your garment. And I know that is probably the most annoying part about hand washing your things, that you have to rinse them. And not with this one. With this one, you just make sure that you add a little scoop, a little bit to your water, and then you just let your garment sit in there, and it will come out perfect. You just have to take the water out, or like squeeze the water out a little bit, lay flat your garment, and you're good to go. You don't need to rinse it, and it's going to save you so much time. And the great thing is that it also has lanolin. So lanolin will, make sure that your project still stays pretty and nice. What else? Let's see. Oh yeah, like I said at the beginning, it runs for about 45 to 100 washes. And yeah, surprise, surprise. It's made with essential oils that I want to also specify. This one has obviously lavender essential oil, and there's also grapefruit, I think I saw. Yes, 5 fragrances. So there's grapefruit, jasmine, lavender, eucalyptus, and there's also neutral, so no smell at all, in case you are hyper allergic. And yeah, I mean it's really great because those essential oils, that smell is gonna actually keep the bugs away. So the moths are just gonna they're gonna look at your sweater and gonna say like, that's washed with Eucalan. I don't like that. I should make a commercial for Eucalan, right? But like I said, it comes in 2 sizes. So there's the big size and there's the small size. I actually recommend trying the small one. Try and get the fragrances that you like, maybe 2 of them, and test them out. And then, you know, find the one you love the most, and then get the big one, basically, right? And I know this is kind of like, what do you call it, mind-blowing to some of you, that you don't have to rinse after using detergent, but I know it was for me, but honestly it's really a lifesaver. And then what else do I have? Oh yes, I have also tip number, what is it? I have my little cheat sheet with my notes. Wash inside out. Yes. Maybe this is something that you already know. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you don't know, remember that most garments, even if it's not knitted or crocheted, even if it's not handmade, make sure you wash them inside out, because then you make sure that the color stays the same, the structure keeps on the garment, and it's always a great idea to wash inside out. So make sure you wash inside out. Then what do I have? Yes, tip number 6, sorry. Tip number 6, this is kind of interesting, and it's kind of controversial as well, because I know it's very, very difficult to find, Kat says that you can't really find a nice yarn, or the right kind of yarn, when you go thrift shopping or garage sale or flea market and so on, right? But I've had the experience where I really found very nice yarns when I went to flea markets, or when I went to garage sales. I found very, very nice yarns, and I wanted to buy it. But then at the same time, unless you know precisely how that yarn was stored, I wouldn't go there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go there. I know it's a bargain, and I know it's, you know, it might be a really, really good price for some really nice yarn, but is it really worth it to bring? What if they didn't store it right? What if you're gonna bring home? I saw somebody commenting bed bugs when they would buy textiles or fibers from a garage sale. Or what if you bring home a little uninvited guest, and then all your yarn gets ruined just because you found a good bargain? So I know it's really, really sucky, but you know, if you are not 100% sure how that yarn was stored, don't go there. Just move on, look at it. It's nice, it's pretty, but don't risk it. However, if you do want to, maybe it's a beautiful color, and maybe it's a yarn that you just must have, right? Because I know it happens to a lot of us, and it happens to me all the time, where I just get so obsessed with having that specific yarn and that specific color, and I just need to have it. If that's the case, then just like Kat said, bring it home, just like she did with her Marius Norwegian sweater. Bring it home, put it in a plastic bag, and put it in the freezer. If you make sure that your freezer can go below 18 degrees Celsius. So when I say minus 18 degrees Celsius, that's 0.4 Fahrenheit, minus 0.4 Fahrenheit. So making sure that it goes below that temperature, it will kill the moths. And if it can go even more below, so I'm talking about minus 25 degrees or minus 23 degrees, which is like minus 4 Fahrenheit, I think. I'm not really, really sure. But if that's the case, and it can go like, just put it to the maximum lowest temperature you have, right? Then put your yarn in there, the yarn that you found that you're obsessed with and you have to have. Put it in the freezer, and let it be there for a few days. I know Kat said about 48 hours. I would actually go for a week, if not more, if you don't need the space from the freezer, if you really, really need that yarn, right? And then take it out, unfreeze it, and then do it again. Just do it again, just to make sure, right, that everything dies, that all the adult moths die, that all the larvae dies, that all the little insects and bacteria die. And then lay it flat so that it dries flat somewhere in, away from the sun, and yeah. So that was tip number 6. If you buy yarn at a garage sale or thrift shop, beware of, make sure that you don't make a mistake. So be wise. And then I have tip number 7, which is kind of like the same, like we just talked just now, like I just said now. It kind of like intertwines. What if you get moths? What if you get, not moths, but what if you get other insects? What if you somebody's out there and you just absolutely hate it, and you need to get rid of those animals, right? You can't just have, just thinking about them, just a little. So basically, if you get them, so if you do get moths, then you do the same. You either kill it with fire or you kill it with cold. Kat mentioned earlier that if you live in a very, very warm climate, then find a bag that is a black bag, store your yarn in there, leave it out in the sun. Obviously, it's going to be in a black sack, so you can't really, the sun doesn't penetrate it, so it won't affect the colors of your yarn. And leave it there for a few hours, and it will kill all the bacteria and all the little animals with heat. But if you don't, and if you're like us living in Denmark, then kill it with cold. So just like I said, put it in a bag and put the bag in the freezer. And yeah, also remember to clean out the area. So that doesn't just help, you also have to clean out the area, because think about it, maybe you don't see the moths, but maybe the larvae, I don't even know how to pronounce it, the babies are somewhere like stuck on the wall, like just waiting. So make sure you also thoroughly clean out the area. Then we have 3 more little tips. Tip number 8 would be brushing your garments or pilling them when necessary, only when necessary. So don't just do it just because it's fun, only when necessary. And this is basically how you can do it is either with a very, very soft brush that is made for wool, or I think it's called a pilling. I added it somewhere. Let me just, a wool shaver it's called, actually. There we go. Get this little guy. It's actually quite neat, I would say. It's quite interesting. But what it does is what it does is that it will it's a great alternative to wool combs. Or, by the way, I added a description in the description box. I added a link to also a wool comb. But if you have a woven garment or a jacket or something, right, and get those little tiny, like, round little, like, annoying little things that you're peeling off, well, maybe it's time to, like, give it a brush and remove those things. Then you can either use, like I said, a wool shaver, or an alternative would be a wool comb. So that's actually really good, and I added links in the description box if you want to try it out. But I actually think that the wool shaver, the one it's electrical and it's super cool. You're just like, it doesn't affect your garment at all, and it just takes away all those tiny little ugly balls of fabric. And another great thing is that your garment will look like new. But if it's more hair, so if it's something more fluffy, then actually just use a brush for wool. Whoop. And then tip number 9. And by the way, I'm gonna read your comments when I'm done with these tips, and I'm gonna then pick a winner. So yes, let your projects breathe by airing them out. So, like I said earlier, there's the moths, and the moths just love the yarn. But then there's also these other horrible little creatures that will want to eat the food or the smell that maybe you've been in a really delicious restaurant and maybe they're cooking in the same room where you eat, like an open restaurant. And then you get home and you smell like burger, or you smell like pizza, or you smell like, I don't know, Michelin star restaurant, and the little bugs are just like. So what you want to do is let your garments breathe a little bit, so air them out. You can just put them somewhere flat, or you can also lay them on the bed before you put them back in your cupboard. So yeah, let them air out a little bit, or let them breathe a little bit. And last but not least, and I know that this is something that a lot of us know already, but remember, hanging and what do you call it? Folding. Hanging and folding. Two different things for two different types of fabrics. So if it's a woven garment, and I mean, maybe it's let me think, like a winter coat, right? Made out of wool. Yes, you want to hang it because you want to keep that structure. But if it's something you've knitted or crocheted, please fold it. Don't let it hang, because then it will ruin the shape, and it's just so sad, because then you would have to wash it, and you would have to it just complicates your life. So please just find a way to learn how to maybe fold nicely. It's kind of like pretty cool to actually do that, right? Have a little place where you just fold your garments instead of hanging them. Because yeah, remember, hanging knits or crochet, always remember this, can stretch them out, and they can lose the shape, right? So it's just sad. So that was it, actually, with all the tips. And yeah, let's see. Wow, I think we're about to pick a winner soon, right? We still have 2 minutes left, and then we're gonna pick a winner. It's crazy, actually. So meanwhile, what else? What do we have here? Ah, yes, what's gonna happen in the next episode? Okay, so I had a long thinking session about what am I gonna do in the next episode, and I was in between scrap yarn and presenting you some of the Hobbii yarns that I really, 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 really think that you should see up close, because I think that I really want to choose 10 yarns that are a must try from Hobbii, and talk a little bit about the properties, talk a little bit about how they're being produced, seeing colors, seeing also, the textures up close. And I decided that instead of the scrap yarn, I was going to do that one. And then 2 weeks from now, I'm going to do an episode on scrap yarn. So that's going to be a pretty fun episode. We're going to talk about how we can reuse our scrap yarn, what kind of projects we can make from them. But up until then, that's going to be on the 22nd of August. But next time we see each other, which is in 2 weeks from today, we're going to talk about these 10 must-try Hobbii yarns. And I'm going to include them in the giveaways, in both giveaways. And I think it's going to be a pretty nice episode, because we're going to dive deep into looking at these types of yarns. And it's going to be just, it's going to be a nice, cozy kind of episode, where we're just going to take things a little slow and just go one by one with the yarns. And maybe we will even have a guest. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to that, actually. All right. So guys, the timer is up. You can now officially not participate in the giveaway anymore. You can, however, participate in the second giveaway. And yeah, I see Hannah saying interesting. I've tried so many hobby yarns. Interesting to see the 10. I'm also like really, really looking forward to it. And I'm gonna actually run a poll to see ooh, let us know if it's wearable, not scratchy. Yes. Cotton yarns. I see that people are loving cotton yarns. And then Melissa saying, can't wait for the scrap yarn episode. Yeah, it's gonna be a really, really, really nice episode. And I think I'm gonna try to convince my my colleague Freddie to be with me because she's actually she knows a lot about scrap yarn, and she has a lot of beautiful scrap yarn sweaters and so on. And Jay Who Crochet, hi honey. She say, how can you only choose 10? Well, I have to keep it a little bit, I had to keep it to an hour because, oh boy, I'm going to maybe have a hard time picking 10. You're actually right, but I will have to narrow it down to 10. May is saying, I might be broke. She's looking forward to the next episode. It will be a wonderful one, but I might be broke after it. But that's a sacrifice she is willing to do. I completely get you. And I mean, oh boy. I mean, it's just as long as you store it safely, like I said, it's just like wine. Yarn is like wine. You find the right, you buy it, you store it safely, and then months or years from when you buy it, you will find the perfect project for it, and then you're going to take it out just like an old bottle of wine, and you're going to savor knitting or crocheting with it. So all the cakes are like 10. It's true. Ooh, I see that Dragon Wolf is saying, I have sensitive skin, so I hope to see you feature some of the bamboo silk yarns. Yes, I shall. I'm a very, very big fan of silk yarns in general. So we're going to also include something like that. Don't worry about it. Yes. All right, guys. Should we actually... should we pick a giveaway winner? And remember, please check the links in the description box if you want to maybe try out the Eucalan, or maybe you want to try out the setter balls. And like a really good tip, once your setter ball doesn't quite smell anymore, or 2, 3, 4 weeks pass by, take them out, give them a little refresher, and it's gonna be they're gonna be like brand new. So it's actually $9, under $9, but they're gonna hold for so long. All right, there we go. Then I'm gonna pick a winner. Please, I want drum rolls. Somebody find the drum roll emoji. I want some drum rolls. Let me find it myself. Drum roll emoji. There we go. I found it. Maybe you guys can just copy this one or something. Drum roll emoji. There we go. So the winner of... God, I made a mess. I made a mess with this giveaway. Drum roll. There we go. There we go. There we go. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Let's not forget the Dahlia. So, the winner of today's episode is... let me just kind of hold it. Should I sing a song? Congratulations to... Pick the winner. There we go. It's coming. There we go. Jacob Richter or Richter. I don't even know if it's, maybe you're German. But Jacob, honey, congratulations. You've won this entire basket filled with lovely yarns and with my favorite little Eucalan. So congratulations, Jacob. I'm happy for you. Remember that in order for you to claim your giveaway, you have a week to claim your giveaway. Otherwise, a different winner will be chosen. So please write me an email to jaya@hobby.dk to claim your prize. Please don't forget. I'm gonna also try to reach out to you in case you don't do it, but please do reach out to me as soon as possible. As soon as possible. And remember, guys, for the second giveaway, it's still gonna run for another week. So, yeah, we're gonna see who's gonna be the winner of that one. Remember, if you want to participate, please, as soon as this live is over, leave a comment in the comment section giving us your best tip on how to store or keep your yarn safe from everything, from moths, from little bugs, from everything. I see that Jacob is like, thank you. Oh, so remember, Jacob, I'm just gonna write right now so that he remembers exactly where he needs to write the email from. There we go, Jacob. There we go, jaya@hobbii.dk. All right, guys, that was all for today. Please join us next time in 2 weeks from now. That's 4, but I meant 2. 2 weeks from now, when we're going to talk about top 10 Hobbii must try yarns. So yeah, see you soon, guys. And remember, stay safe, be kind to one another, and yeah, bye.